Time is your life's canvas, not a prison.
Welcome to the Journey to Here podcast. I'm M.
And I'm Dee. Here we chat about life skills, business, growing, and building. We hope to inspire you on your journey to here.
Wherever your here may be.
At the Journey to Here, we are very passionate about quite a few subjects and topics. And one of those topics is just to manage time and to manage your effectiveness with what you do during a day and then during a week as well. And recently, M had quite a lot of conversations during his sessions with clients with the topic of time management and how to take back control over time has been on the forefront. And we've decided to tackle this topic from various angles. So you will see in our newsletter, if you are subscribed to it, how this is a topic that we are going to explore quite a lot of. When we talk about time management, it's a word that leaves a bad connotation to the two of us. We don't look at management of time as something that's even possible. It's almost a little bit like when people start decluttering and cleaning up and they put things in neat little piles, and you take all the nasty things in your house and you just pile it up into these little towers and you think you've done a big cleanup, where what you should be doing is throwing things away and getting rid of the extras and doing a proper stock take of what you have in your house. And in this case, what do you have in your life? What are the things that you are busy with every day that is just piling up and not bringing any value? So this morning we are going to start chatting a little bit about this whole thing of time. And one of the first ideas and thoughts that we have out there is that time is your life's canvas, not a prison. What do you mean with that?
Our approach to time and controlling time rather than managing time is that it's summed up in the saying, the millionaire and the beggar have exactly the same amount of hours available to them. It's what they choose to do with those hours that determines the outcome. So what we look at doing when we coach, when we have conversations, it is creating effective use of time, not efficient. It's not a case of getting done everything that's on your desk in an efficient manner. It is deciding what to do. It is choosing the activities that are going to give you the best results. And there are many things that one can delegate. There are also many things that one can purely do in a more effective manner. We're going to, in a future episode, speak about communicating and how effective communication will help you to control the time that is available to you and prevent a back and forth of communication. If one looks at what we do and how we live our lives, we have found recipes that work for us as to how we allocate time and as to how we choose certain activities. And we become pretty ruthless as to how and what we spend time on. If one does not control time, time will control you, and it's very easy for time to control you. One of the first exercises we give people to do, and this is something for our listeners to practice, is take back 30 minutes a day from things that are taking your time. Look at your time, look at your schedule, and take back 30 minutes where you go and be still, where you meditate, where you do not scroll through news feeds on your phone, where you do not engage in research, where you do not watch a television program, but where you simply sit and think, where you spend time with yourself. And it is normally the exercise that is the most difficult to do for people. And this sounds ironic, but doing nothing is one of the most difficult things to do. We seek distractions. And once one has learned how to take back those 30 minutes a day, that becomes discretionary time. And it is freeing and liberating to have those 30 minutes. And once you have created those 30 minutes a day, one can now say, right, I have 30 minutes extra. What am I going to do with these 30 minutes that is going to make me feel empowered and help take control back? So when we talk about time being our life's canvas, it is a creative process. It is creating the 30 minutes and then deciding, how am I going to paint these 30 minutes? And how am I going to apply that creativity and this creative use of time to the rest of my day? How am I going to make sure that I create more opportunities to do just this, where I can access my creative self? Tim Ferriss, in his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, speaks about exactly this: creating space, cultivating a low information diet. And that means reducing and eliminating outside stimulus. Ask yourself the question, do you watch the daily news, for example? If you do, that is 30 minutes. Ask yourself the question, what does that activity add? Is any of the information that you received during that half an hour of programming, and it's not called programming for nothing, but those 30 minutes, what value did those 30 minutes add to your life? Take them back. That 30 minutes that you scrolled through your Facebook feed or whatever social media feed that you use, what value did they add? And be ruthless. Not, oh, that was a cute idea. I can bake beans in a potato, or whatever other useless information you may have picked up. Ask yourself the question, what value did this add? And no, scrolling through social media mindlessly is not a good use of your time. You may kid yourself and say, I switch off. No, you don't. You are being stimulated to think about something that someone else created. Take back your ability to use your canvas.
We often talk about energy and how that is more important than efficiency. And energy is something that comes in so many ways and forms, and we can look at energy as the energy you get from eating a well-balanced diet and getting exercise. I also think about energy in our relationships that we have with people and the time that we spend with people, and how often one would have interaction with a particular person, and when you walk away from that conversation or that meeting or whatever it may be, you either feel energized or you feel drained. And this is the same with some activities. We often look at our day-to-day jobs and duties and our things that we have to do to keep life and a household going. And there are certain activities that one does that make you really sad and make you feel drained and you hate doing this particular thing. And then there are things that may be taxing on your body and you may be exhausted after spending a whole day doing this particular thing, but your mind is clear and you suddenly just have energy and you have the ability to tackle other things in ways that you just haven't had any idea would even be possible. So time and energy can also be used to really create a canvas that you can be creative in. One of the audits that we recommend people do often is look at the activities that they are busy with on a daily and a weekly basis, and the people that they spend time with, and the things that interest them. You spoke earlier about watching the news or following social media feeds, and something that I have heard quite a lot of, especially YouTube creators, talk about is how they would go through their notifications and their subscriptions on a monthly basis and just ask themselves the question, these people that they are currently following, are they adding any real value to their own creativity and their mental space? Do, when they see this person's feed, they feel energized and motivated? Or is this one of those things that just bring you down and make you doubt yourself and make you question decisions that you actually know are good for you, but you're suddenly not sure about anymore? Do these audits. Do the audit where you go through a daily schedule and where you ask yourself the question, is this activity that I am doing something that adds energy, or is it something that drains me? And is it maybe possible to switch them around? I'm currently working on a template that we would like to share with listeners as well, where they can view their daily schedule and in an easy way track whether an activity is draining or providing energy, and also ask themselves the question whether, as Em mentioned earlier, this particular activity is even necessary to be done. We have heard often about the Eisenhower matrix, where you make the decision about whether a task is urgent or important, and put this then in a matrix of sorts where you have to make the decision. Is this thing important? Is it urgent? Is it not important? Is it not urgent? Is it a combination of the above? And that can often help one to reevaluate how you are going to allocate time to certain activities. Use your energy. If you know that you are way more alert at a certain time of the day, use that time for the activities that you need to pursue that asks for the alertness. Whereas if there's a time during your day where you are normally really a little bit sluggish or just not motivated to do things, and there are tasks that do not take and do not ask for a lot of energy, ask yourself the question whether it's possible to shuffle your diary around in such a way that you deal with those activities at a time where it doesn't really need and asks for a lot of these mental alertness.
For example, I'm at my best with meetings and coaching sessions early in the morning. So I attempt to schedule my creative coaching in the mornings. And I remember conducting an energy audit probably back in the early 2000s, 20 years ago. It was the first time I'd learned to do it and worked out what the correct cadence was for the day. And cadence is something we're going to talk about in a later episode. But figure out exactly when you have the times of highest energy, because when you spend that energy on the right activity, you will be more effective.
This is a hard truth for a lot of people. And when you realize this, you realize that you have to take ownership of so many things that you used to just give away. And that is the following statement: your choices create your reality. We hear this in so many forms and shapes on a daily basis. I have heard something at some stage that said, you deserve everything you get. And it sounds harsh to think that you are maybe currently in a position where maybe financially it's not going very well, or maybe there's a problem with health, or maybe you've got a relationship that's just not doing the thing that it should be doing. And then to hear that you deserve that, that's harsh. But if you think about how every decision we make has an influence on the next decision that we are going to make, and how all these decisions that we make on a daily basis create the life that we eventually start leading. There's a saying that you have to control your thoughts because they become your words, and then later on your words will become your actions, and your actions will become the person that you become. And when you think about how every choice that you make can either lead you on a direction that you want to be in or off of that direction that you want to be, this becomes quite clear that yes, making those decisions may not always be easy. And yes, making those decisions feel like hard work and you may just not have the mental space for them. But understanding that every decision you make, whether for the good or for the bad, is shaping your reality. It is shaping what your world looks like and who you become. And it's also, in a way, freeing. And it is also good news because it means that if you're in a position at the moment where life is just not the way that you wanted it to be, you can start making new decisions and you can shape your reality by making choices that can change it in a way that will be good for you. We had a comment on a previous episode of our show, and this person asked us how we got to where we are at the moment. It sounds like we are doing this off-grid living and that we are homesteading, and yes, we are. We have a couple of chickens and we try and keep a garden alive, and in the heat of summer it's really difficult. But for the last couple of weeks, we've been having salads with produce out of our garden. And every couple of days, we have a handful of eggs from our chickens. And we have a gorgeous rooster that wakes us in the morning with his morning alarm sounds. And these are things that we never even imagined would be possible for us. But we made a choice and we decided that this is a journey that we would like to embark on. Is this going to be the journey that we stay on? Is this how our lives are going to look 5 or 10 or 20 years from now? Who knows? We may decide in the next couple of months to make new choices and they will shape a new reality for us. But that is the beauty of life. That is the beauty of this beautiful thing that we call the journey of life. We can make choices every day. Every day we are asked whether we want to take the left side or the right side, whether we want to say yes to something or whether we want to say no, whether we want to do something and whether we don't. And all these choices help us to follow a path and create a journey and create a lifestyle that can fit exactly our vision and our idea of what a perfect life should be.
And we get to shape that canvas. We get to decide what that story is going to be. And it's not always a left or right. Sometimes it is that path less traveled. The choice that is presented to us is not always the right choice. But the choice of dreams, the choice of direction is up to us. And very often life will present you with a yes or a no. And sometimes it's, I'm not taking either of those. I'm going to create my own path through the bush. I'm going to become debt-free. I'm not going to choose which house I'm going to buy in which neighborhood and take a loan that will put me into debt for the next 30 years. I'm going to create a new way and a new life script. We believe that you choose your life design. That was the theme of a previous episode. Go look it up. You choose your life design, and then you choose how you use your time to achieve that life design and paint your own canvas, not someone else's. Choose how you use your time. Choose, make choices, design a better life.
Sometimes you need a little bit of help. Sometimes it's easy to look at your life and understand and realize that you have to do something differently. And sometimes it's very clear. And then sometimes you would like some help and some support. Join our newsletter, where on a weekly basis you're going to get some of these tips and ideas that we share. You can follow the newsletter by following the link in the show description. But if you also feel that you need a little bit more, send us a message, send us a mail, reach out to us and explore what we can do with you in a one-to-one coaching session, and explore the alternatives to just living life day by day, and rather going into a life that you can design for yourself and that you can plan around how you are efficient and how you're effective and how you can be creative with the time that is given to you. Enjoy your journey to exploring new ways to use time in a way that is going to be to your benefit,
wherever that journey may take you. Thanks for joining us for this part of our journey. We hope this episode added value. For more information on what we do, please visit our website at www.thejourneytohere.co.za.
If you liked what you heard, please join us on a regular basis by subscribing through your favorite podcasting platform. Even better, listen to us on Fountain FM, where you can send us and other content creators sats in a value for value exchange.
We look forward to having you along for the rest of your journey to here,
wherever your here may be.